At first, I was a bit lost. I didn't know what to choose, a video game using Unity 3D or a movie using my own assets and effects. Both of these ideas did not have a huge pull on me since I wanted to create something completely new and out of the ordinary. One day in class, our class instructor enlightened us about microprocessors and microcomputers, and what we can achieve out of the both of them. This marked the beginning of my journey. Since I'm a fan of aviation and I still have dreams of one day getting a flying license, it gave me an idea to create a fully fledged flight simulator, fully based on physics and the simulation of aerodynamics, drag and lift, and others. All within Unity 3D. I had to create the assets using modeling software such as 3ds Max and others. The base game of the flight simulator was already taking shape, but sadly I had to face a huge problem, which was the limitations of Unity compiled with the complexity of the codes, which led to huge stutters and delays, which made the game completely unplayable. And if I'm gonna convert the game into VR, it will make it 10 times worse. So I had to go back to the drawing board and think of a new idea. As I was chilling with my friends talking online about video games and new technology, a new video came up which was about the new motion controllers, which is on its own a new technology related to the virtual reality. All my friends were speculating about the future of gaming, and one of them stated that in the future there will be no fat gamers. So I had to do it on my own and steal his quote and make it a bit more politically correct. The cause of my project was to give gaming a new approach, which was a more healthy approach. Since most of avid gamers stay at home and play games for long hours, they miss out on many physical activities while clicking on their keyboards and sliding their mice. The best idea that came up to me was to convert a bicycle into a gaming controller on its own, by refining the earlier project, which was a joystick, a flying joystick, into the current project. Though I did not have the entirety of the items that I needed, I had to research and research over again to find all the requirements I needed for the bike. I had the Arduino Leonardo, which was a bit cheaper than the Arduino Uno. Though it was a dedicated controller in the Arduino family, it was the right choice for my project. I was searching for other items, such as the potentiometer, which was a metered resistor that will act as a steering mechanism for the bike later on. By twisting the knob on the potentiometer, it will give us a voltage value that will differ in negative or positive side depending on the direction we twist it. The DC motor, which is actually an output device, can also be used as an input device in my case since it has an onboard resistor, similar to the potentiometer. But instead of twisting the knob, you need to spin the wheel. A flex device, which is a thin piece of metal that gives you a value if you bend it, and it will give you the negative value if you bend it to the other side. And an extra button for some reason. After connecting all of these parts together, comes the programming part. The Arduino comes with a specific language that can be programmed in the Arduino IDE, which is a software that is available for free on the Arduino website. The language is pretty basic and is very similar to JavaScript and C#. With both the software and hardware parts over, the controller is now very usable. But I needed to go the extra mile and do the cosmetic part. Everything needed to be attached on a bike. So I got an old rusty piece of junk that had bent wheels and a broken chain. It took me some time to put it in shape, and by putting it in shape I mean taking it down into little pieces and then reassembling it with the things I need. The DC motor was glued to the side of the bike with its wheel sticking out and touching the horn ring of the bicycle pedals to allow for extra traction. The flex tool was attached to the handbrake. The springiness of the brakes proved useful. As for the extra button, it was attached next to the brake. It simulates the bicycle bell ring, and the button, while clicked and unclicked, produces a sound. At this point, the bike controller is done, and working on the video game part had to start. I wasn't satisfied with the work I did, so I had to go the extra mile and convert my controller into an actual arcade machine / game. With this decision, I can use my controller on any computer or on any game directly out of the box. This proves that my controller will be code efficient for all games. The bike pedals do indeed produce acceleration, but it does not mean throttle. The throttle goes through a complex function in the game and on the Arduino itself. With the basic code of the throttle, it's velocity equal acceleration minus 1 times brake input. The acceleration is the pedals. The brake input is the flex. Within the future code, the velocity of the bicycle controller will be affected directly from the game as well. For example, the mass of the vehicle, the direction of the vehicle if it's going up or downhill. In order to trick the brain of the user and convince him that he is inside the game, I have attached two 12-volt fans from the front side of the bicycle that simulate the wind hitting the face of the user. These fans are powered by a 12-volt battery connected directly to a motor shield. The way these fans work is directly linked to the velocity function, meaning that the higher the velocity, the faster the fans will spin. This concludes the beefy part of my project, which is creating a controller / arcade machine, which gives us a glimpse at the future of gaming. Creating the video game was much easier than I ever thought, since Unity 3D provides all the necessary tools and libraries required to create our own virtual reality game, which is as easy as dragging and dropping into our main camera. Designs for the newer bike controller is already in the works, and an upgraded model of this current bike will be featured in an upcoming science event. Later on, I will not just limit myself to bike only. I have ideas of new types of controllers that are being considered for the future. Thank you.